Part 1, Understanding Bluebird's Business Model. Good day, everyone. In this session, we will examine the Bluebird Business Model Canvas and understand why Bluebird remains one of the most trusted transportation brands in Indonesia. To begin, we need to see Bluebird as more than a taxi company. Bluebird is a managed mobility business. That means it does not only provide rides. It manages vehicles, drivers, booking systems, customer support, corporate accounts, and multiple transport services under one brand. This distinction is important. A simple ride-hailing platform mainly connects drivers and passengers. Bluebird, by contrast, controls a much larger operating system. It owns and manages service quality more directly. That gives the company stronger control over reliability, safety, driver standards, and customer experience. Bluebird's business model is built around safe, dependable, and professionally managed transport. Its service portfolio includes regular taxis, executive transport, rental cars, buses, shuttle services, and logistics. That portfolio shows that Bluebird is no longer dependent on one product category. A practical example is airport transport. A traveler landing in Jakarta may choose Bluebird not because it is the cheapest option, but because it is known, visible, and trusted. In business terms, that trust becomes a competitive asset. So, when we study this canvas, we are studying how Bluebird creates value, delivers value, and captures value in a market that has become more digital and more competitive. In the next part, we will look at the front end of the model, who Bluebird serves, what value it offers, and how it reaches those customers. Part 2, Customers, Value, and Channels. Let us now move to the front end of the canvas. This is where Bluebird connects with the market through customer segments, value propositions, and channels. First, Bluebird serves several customer groups. These include urban commuters, corporate clients, tourists, airport travelers, premium passengers, and logistics customers. This broad customer mix is strategically useful because the company does not depend on a single source of demand. If one segment slows down, another may remain stable. Second, Bluebird's value proposition is centered on trust. Customers choose Bluebird for safety, professional drivers, clean vehicles, transparent fares, and predictable service. For corporate clients, the value is even broader. It includes billing, account management, and service accountability. This is where Bluebird stands out. Many transport companies compete on price. Bluebird competes on reliability and confidence. For example, a family traveling at night may prefer Bluebird because they believe the ride will be safer and more controlled. A company may prefer Bluebird because staff transport needs to be documented and dependable. Third, channels explain how Bluebird reaches the market. It uses both physical and digital channels. Physical channels include street hailing, taxi stands, hotels, airports, malls, and office areas. Digital channels include My Bluebird, call centers, websites, and platform integrations such as partner apps. This dual-channel model matters. Some customers still want to flag a taxi at the airport. Others want to book through an app and pay digitally. Bluebird needs to serve both behaviors at the same time. Now that we understand who Bluebird serves and how it reaches them, we can move to the next part, how it keeps customers loyal and how it turns service into revenue. Part 3, Relationships and Revenue Logic. In this part, we will focus on how Bluebird builds customer relationships and how those relationships support its revenue model. Customer relationships in Bluebird's business are built on trust, consistency, and support. A customer returns to Bluebird because the experience feels predictable. The vehicle is recognizable. The driver is expected to follow service standards. The fare is clearer. Complaints can be handled. That combination creates repeat usage. For corporate customers, the relationship goes further. Bluebird is not only providing transport. It is providing managed mobility. That includes billing, account servicing, and dependable supply. In other words, Bluebird becomes part of the client's operating system. A useful example is a company arranging transport for executives, visitors, or airport transfers. In that case, service consistency matters more than simply finding the lowest fare. Bluebird benefits because this kind of demand is more repeatable and often more stable. That takes us to revenue streams. Bluebird earns money from several sources. These include taxi fares, executive transport, car rental, bus and shuttle services, logistics services, corporate contracts, and some additional service-related income. This is a strong revenue structure because it reduces dependence on one type of trip. If street-hail taxi demand weakens, Bluebird can still rely on corporate mobility, premium transport, rental services, and logistics. The key lesson here is simple. Revenue is strongest when customer relationships are strong. Bluebird's revenue quality improves when customers do not see it as a one-time ride provider, but as a trusted transport partner. In the next part, we will examine the internal engine behind this model, resources, activities, and partnerships. Part 4, Resources, Activities, and Partnerships. We now move to the operating core of the Bluebird Business Model Canvas. This is where the company's internal strength becomes visible through its key resources, key activities, and key partnerships. Start with key resources. Bluebird's most valuable resource is not only its fleet. It is also its brand reputation. In transportation, trust is a major asset because customers make fast decisions about safety and reliability. Alongside that brand, Bluebird also depends on trained drivers, licensed operations, digital systems, maintenance facilities, dispatch capability, and corporate accounts. Next are key activities. Bluebird must manage fleet operations, maintain vehicles, train drivers, coordinate dispatch, manage digital booking systems, serve customers, sell to corporate accounts, and stay compliant with operating requirements. These activities sound routine, but they are strategically critical. When one breaks down, service quality drops immediately. Think about a simple customer experience. A passenger opens the app, books a ride, meets a clean vehicle, gets a professional driver, arrives safely, and pays without friction. That seems simple from the outside. Behind it sits a complex chain of operating activities. Partnerships also matter. Bluebird works with digital platforms, hotels, airports, vehicle suppliers, payment providers, and corporate clients. These partnerships help it expand reach, improve convenience, and strengthen demand. A good example is app integration. When Bluebird connects with a platform partner, it increases visibility among digital users without giving up its service identity. Likewise, airport and hotel partnerships help the company capture high-trust travel demand. So, the internal engine of Bluebird is a combination of trusted assets, disciplined execution, and carefully chosen partnerships. In our final part, we will look at the cost structure, the key strategic risks, and the future direction of the business. Part 5, Costs, Risks, and Strategic Direction. In this final part, we will bring the full canvas together by looking at Bluebird's cost structure, major risks, and strategic priorities. Bluebird's cost structure is significant because this is an asset-heavy business. Major costs include vehicle acquisition, leasing, fuel, maintenance, insurance, depreciation, driver and staff costs, technology operations, customer support, marketing, and compliance. These are not optional costs. They support the quality promise that defines the brand. This creates an important strategic tension. Bluebird wants to deliver safer, cleaner, and more reliable service, but those strengths come with higher operating costs than lighter platform models. That leads to the risks. Bluebird faces intense ride-hailing competition, price-sensitive customers, rising fuel and maintenance costs, pressure to improve digital experience, and the challenge of keeping service consistent across a large operation. One bad ride can damage trust. One weak app experience can push a customer toward another platform. Yet the company also has strong strategic advantages. It has a trusted national brand, deep operational experience, broad service coverage, strong corporate relationships, and presence in high-trust locations such as airports and hotels. So what should Bluebird do next? The direction is clear. It should keep strengthening My Bluebird, grow corporate mobility, improve asset productivity, and sharpen its partnerships. The goal is not to become the cheapest operator. The goal is to remain the most trusted managed mobility brand while becoming easier and faster to use. That is the central lesson of this canvas. Bluebird wins when it combines trust, discipline, and digital relevance in one business model. Thank you. That concludes the Bluebird Business Model Canvas.